Even though we have all played with teddy bears in our childhood, the real animal is anything but so loving and innocent. Every year, bear attacks lead to injuries and loss of life among humans. Apart from man, bears also prey on many other animals, and some of these attacks have been captured on camera. Have you ever seen a bear tearing off a deer? Have you ever watched what a bear and tiger fight looks like? No, right? Then let's watch the 22 most terrifying bear attacks that will blow your mind. Bear attacks deer. We start off our list with an agile mother bear looking to find food for her and her child. She zeroes in on a deer and chases it over quite a long distance. Even with all that added weight and bulk, this bear seems to be as nimble as the deer is. However, what makes matters easier for the predator is when the deer stumbles and comes to a crashing halt. It could be simply because of nerves. Whatever the reason, once it falls, there's not much that the deer can do. The next bear attack takes place in what looks like someone's backyard. The bear has a tight grip on this poor deer's neck, and it isn't about to let go. As the deer shrieks in pain, the attacker uses its body weight to pin the deer down. The predator also violently shakes its head with the deer's neck between its jaws. All that force must be crushing the deer's spine. One thing that I can guarantee, it's a horrible way to die. Many animals prefer to kill their prey before sitting down for a feast. This clip shows that a bear is just as comfortable seeking its teeth into live prey as it is into dead ones. The baby deer struggles and writhers in pain as the bear casually sits on top of it. Once again, its increased body weight helps it subdue the victim easily. We can only hope the baby deer didn't have to endure too much agony. If you ever doubted the bear's stamina, watch this hunt. Not only does the grizzly bear chase the caribou over miles, it swims from one coast to another and then back again before finally catching on. He carries off its prized meal, and dare we say that it was well earned. What a determined hunter. Well, not every bear finds it easy to take down a deer. In the following clip, the buck takes refuge in the water, knowing full well that the attacking bear isn't that good of a swimmer. For a while, the bear wonders whether it should get inside or find food elsewhere. Finally, it does decide to swim and get closer towards its prey. But the buck swims farther as it approaches. Thank God the buck could escape, but I don't think it could go much farther from its death. Bear attacks wolves. Wolves and bears are constantly competing for the same food, and this often leads to conflict. In this clip, a group of bears take out their anger on a lone wolf. They bite and literally pull at it from all sides. While the wolf's family members try to intervene, these bears are simply too ferocious and determined to be meddled with. This wolf must have done something truly terrible to offend the bears so much. Rest in peace, poor wolf. Another way to eliminate the competition is to kill them off while the competitors are still young. The bear has discovered a wolf lair, and the adult wolves are nowhere in sight. Only the pups are inside playing with each other. This is the perfect opportunity for the bear to dig them up from the lair and destroy them. That's what it proceeds to do. When the wolf parents return, they find only death and carnage. It takes them a long time to finally come to terms with what has happened. Wolves are no match against a ferocious bear, and if they are small in numbers, the odds are even lower. These wolves think they can fight the bear off from their hunt. They are wrong. Even though the bigger predator doesn't attack them immediately, he quickly grows irritated and whacks one of the wolves over the head with its huge paw. We're sure that particular wolf wouldn't even think of facing another bear in the future. But sometimes, a bear's attack on wolves doesn't go according to plan. Here, the numbers game is simply against the bear, and even it cannot hope to face so many wolves alone at once. Even though it tries to fend off the surrounding wolves, it realizes that running away is the best solution here. Well, that's what happens if you don't take out the competition strategically. Bear attacks moose. The moose looks like it's gravely injured and can't even get up. Whether this injury is caused by the bear in the video or by a car on the road is unclear. Nevertheless, watch how the bear bites onto the still very much alive moose and drags it away. It's not a small animal by any means, but the bear doesn't seem to have any trouble with it. It's one big meal for the bear, that's for sure. But being such a big animal, bears need all the calories they can get. In the next clip, the bear goes for a moose calf instead of a fully grown one. As the baby moose screams in pain, its mother looks on from the sidelines. As the attack continues, the shouts fall silent, and the bear continues to tear the moose's flesh apart without making sure it's dead first. The mother could have at least tried to intervene, but it's too busy saving its own hide. Well, good for the bear. It's one of the easiest hunts for the huge animal. Bear attacks fish. Bears have a huge affinity for fish, especially freshly caught salmon. The following video shows just how the bears prepare along the path of migrating salmon, standing in a shallow part of the stream. As the fish jump out of the water to check the bears' position, they expose themselves momentarily to attacks. Most of the fish slip past the waiting predators, but a few salmon jump out of the water and straight into a bear's open mouth. But just because they love fish doesn't mean they'll have anything they catch. This bear catches the first fish extremely easy, but doesn't really like the taste. It takes a bite or two of the first one and then chucks it aside for another one. Within moments, it finds another one. This time, the bear relishes the fish. This one must be truly delicious. It's good to know that bears are picky eaters, just like we are. Bears truly excel at fishing, and it is apparent in this clip. This bear stands on a fallen tree trunk and simply stares at the flowing stream. As soon as it catches a glimpse of a fish, it pounces in the water and gets it out. That's some insanely quick reflexes, especially for such a heavyweight animal. Bear attacks seals. Polar bears require even more calories to survive the intense cold, and simply eating fish won't do. This bear eyes a particularly plump seal that is relaxing on the ice. Since these seals are extremely quick, the polar bear's only chance of a successful hunt is to adopt a stealthy approach. It swims in the water to maintain a low profile, and then, when it's close enough to the prey, the bear pounces. The seal still manages to jump inside the water, but the determined bear isn't ready to give up. It follows the seal and manages to catch it underwater. Another polar shows off a different technique to catch seals. It jumps up in the air and lands head down on the ice sheet, making an instantaneous hole. The seal swimming underneath has no chance of escaping as the predator pulls it up. The polar bear then carries it back to feed her family as well. Does the bear have sonar technology to pinpoint where these seals are underneath the ice covering? So impressive. But sometimes even the most well-laid plans can go wrong. The bear in this video takes the utmost precaution to remain unseen as it stalks a seal lying unaware. Rather than approaching it on land, the bear swims across the water to maintain its cover. It looks like a floating piece of ice. After closing in, the bear jumps underneath the water and swims towards the prey. However, at the very last instance, the seal is alerted and it vanishes into the water. Even though the bear goes after it, the plump seal manages to escape. Bear attacks bear. Bears don't always attack for food, and fights between two such bears can break out at any time. Here, the two bears seem to have a disagreement of some sort, which leads to a fierce fight. At first, neither of them are ready to back down as they exchange blows and open their mouths wide as a show of aggression. Then, one of the bears starts to back away. It realizes that it has picked a wrong fight. You can also see its nose is bleeding profusely. The scared bear hides behind a tree. When the stronger one loses interest, the other simply runs away. There isn't always a clear victor in such fights, though. In our next clip, two behemoth bears go up against one another. Once again, the reason behind this fight remains uncertain. Regardless, the two hit each other with their strong paws and also bite one another brutally. To assert their dominance, these bears also stand upright on their two hind legs. But after exchanging a few blows and bites, the two bears seem to reach some sort of an understanding and stop fighting. Or was this just a friendly brawl? Bear attacks tiger. Tigers pose a risk to sloth bears, often preying on them. This tiger thought it could also do the same. The big cat must rely on stealth and an element of surprise to take down such a strong opponent. As the tiger moves without making a sound, the bear's back is turned to it. Just when you think that this bear wouldn't survive, the bigger animal turns around and jumps into action. The startled tiger has no option but to run away. The sloth bear chased it for a while, making sure that the tiger wouldn't mess with it again. Another tiger was desperate enough to go after a sloth bear, with another bear watching close by. Once again, the fight that ensues is terrible. The attacked bear fends off the big cat by standing upright and trying to intimidate the predator. This posturing does work for a while, forcing the tiger to retreat. Bear attacks walrus. Walruses are particularly fatty animals that can fulfill the caloric requirements of a polar bear, but catching one isn't easy as this video proves. The bear goes after several of the walruses in the herd, drawing blood and injuring many of them. But the sharp and pointy tusks of these walruses makes this hunt extremely difficult. One walrus drags the polar bear into the water while trying to escape. Finally, the bear gives up, accepting that these animals are simply too strong for him. Bears are not just ferocious, but extremely strong. Their brute power is why many of the animals on this list didn't stand a chance against them. What do you think of these bear attacks? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the compilation, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Turning on all notifications will ensure that you never miss another update. We hope you have a great day ahead, and we'll see you soon with another video.